Welcome to American Dream Life. When we learn how to grow our beliefs and become a united human being, why it's so important, especially in today turmoil times of we thought that we came to a new year and like a magic wand, everything will change. The journey continues, and it's actually up to us how we want to interpret that. And um, and that's where it actually starts. Everything starts with our thoughts, and depending what kind of thought we have and how we relate to that thought, how we interpret that thought, and what emotion we attaching to that thought can make a difference. What action we start taking, what emotions we are experiencing, and it's important to create more awareness around it. And in my kind of profession, dealing with a public and others, and experience all kinds of range of emotions, become for me more important as well to start uh, creating awareness, but also reaching for some guides. And recently, I actually decided to read a book called Master Your Emotions, which is very helpful guide. It's kind of explain more how the emotion comes about, as well as different tips on how to shift those emotions. And so I highly recommend to check that out. Um, that book, and to help you, and like I had mentioned, uh, that it's so important, especially in today's world, to create more awareness, where those emotions are coming from, uh, backtracking to actually our thoughts, and how much weight we are putting on our thoughts, how how we entertain some thoughts that most likely they don't serve us, and start changing those thoughts and acknowledging them, not just discounting, because they will most likely will be coming back, but just acknowledge that thought, and but not dwelling so much on it, and creating those emotions and charges of emotions, and just dwelling in it, just acknowledging and kind of letting go. And that's how emotions also like we experience, for example, in the weather, rain, and it seems like it will never stop, and at some point it stops, and we can experience rainbow. So same with our thoughts and emotions. If we allow to pass that through us, pass that by, and not so much attaching ourselves to them, and be more actually present in the experience, and awareness, that can actually help us in the long run and create a different experience for our lives. So how do I know about it? I've been start practicing as well. There's definitely a lot of things were happening, and I share some of that in my previous broadcasts about having and not having a control of our life, of my life, and how I start changing things, and how I start creating awareness that it's up to me to to transform my life, and I shouldn't be looking um, for some validation from the outside, or attempting to control the outside to change the inside. It's the other way around. So because we are emotional human beings as well, so it was actually not just to be of for me to serve others in a more effective way, but also it's that coming from me, like I cannot control others, so I can just learn how to understand others more, and actually practice some things that I wanted uh, to see in the world, starting from myself. So if I have some interesting thoughts that's coming, how I um, am I entertaining those thoughts and dwelling in them, and start creating story with those thoughts and attaching some emotions to them and taking actions out of those emotions, or allowing to let go those thoughts, acknowledging them, but letting go of that thought and not attaching myself to those thoughts, and not dwelling in those thoughts, and assigning emotions to them, can definitely be beneficial. I experienced that, and it's definitely beneficial, because actually you coming from more present moment, when you stop creating so many stories from your past, or from your worries of the future, when you becoming intentional about when I'm becoming intentional as well about those thoughts and how to transform them, and even start applying to for a quicker kind of results, some tapping techniques, and you can look it up, um, to shift that even on a much quicker, in a quicker way, to become more present and shifting. Tapping is a technique that can kind of help transform some of those emotions that you start experiencing, and and you can start feeling different, more positive emotions. Our kind of brains are in default usually to the negative, and based on our experiences, so shifting that negativity. There's a lot of that in the world, what's going on right now. So it's really up to us to keep shifting those emotions to more positive, and we can actually start seeing a different perspective, and experience different reality in our world, even though everything else uh, might not be in order and maybe feeling more negative, but it will not affect us so much, will not be sinking into the dramas of today's world, because honestly we attempt on controlling it, but we really don't. It's The control is only we can learn how to master ourselves, and more, and working on ourselves to experience differently, to experience different realities, to coming from more unity than division, like we experiencing right now with the elections and in this country. So uh, it seems like which side to take. Um, I would recommend to be more in coming from love, and understanding that it's part of the challenge that we experience, is part of transformation, and we get to go through that. There's not no other way around. And the more resistance we are creating, like we're creating in our lives, when we don't want to do something, when we don't want to experience, when we in the middle of experience, and we create more resistance in that experience, and we'll be dwelling on certain thoughts, we'll be dwelling on certain emotions, we'll just get ourselves stuck, and start identify more with feeling that powerless, that we cannot do anything about it, and I don't believe that's the best way to experience life, to feel powerless. We do have the power, our personal power, so I advise you not to give that power away, and learn how to utilize that. Learn more about you, and who you are, and stepping more into your power. Many times we are identifying the powers um, with also possibly negative things. But I'm not saying about that power of trying to be right or being judgmental. The power is that we can be in actually control of ourselves and create the awareness of our thoughts, create awareness of our emotions, and be in control of our actions to not just unite ourselves, but help to unite this world and create more love, joy, and peace. So with that, I would love to share the broadcast as well as if you like what you see, hit likes and put your comments with some examples how you shifting your emotions and if there's anything I can do to support, feel free to reach out. Sending you lots of love, joy, and peace. And until next time, take care.